Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and these are things I learned with Miracles and ANA's Pudge. In this video, I'm going to mainly talk about post-level 6 decision making with Pudge. I feel like a lot of people can usually snowball into early game kills, but they fail to keep the ball rolling as the game goes on because they are used to fighting the same way they do early on. Pudge's strength early on is basically being tanky and slowing enemies until you can outlast them since they don't have a lot of DPS. One thing that a lot of people disregard about post-level 6 Pudge is that as a hero, you're pretty much the same going forward. Yeah, you do a little bit more damage with Rot and you get more tanky, but your playstyle changes a lot after Dismember and level 4 mid-hook, and you need to be playing accordingly. In the mid-game, your biggest strength is taking key heroes out of position. You will usually lock them in place for the Dismember duration, but afterwards, most of the time, you're going to disengage slightly, and if the enemy is still alive, you're going to wait for another hook duration. In this video, we're going to talk mainly about two things: techniques to hit more hooks and how to position and move during fights and understanding vision. In this clip, we see one key decision coming from Pudge. ANA only commits the hook when the enemy hero runs through a choke point. In that specific spot, there's no good way for TA to run away. She can go up the stairs or back a little bit, but it puts her in a somewhat bad position. These types of choke points limit your enemy's decisions and thus increase your chance of hitting hooks. As TA is dying, I like that he already closes the gap on Io to be sure he's not going to run away. And on top of that, he was feeling very confident in calculating the damage output coming from Io. That guarantees that he has a big burst of HP and mana for the next fight since he didn't spend his magic wand. Here we can see Pudge in the high ground. It's about to be nighttime, so he's probably waiting to go down the stairs and maybe get a kill when they position themselves to defend that tower. The thing is, what can give dire vision of them going behind the tower are heroes, not the tier 2 tower. Because of the way the tower is positioned, that missing tree spot won't reveal them if there are no units there, and they go down. If you don't believe me, check this. Another aspect to note is that throwing hooks at nighttime is way easier than daytime. With diminished vision comes reduced reaction times, and even though he doesn't end up getting TA, it was a good try. We see an even better showing of vision understanding a few seconds later. With that recently placed observer ward, they spot Techie is mining that location and look at the spot he hooks. A lot of people wouldn't even try for that hook because they would guess that Dire has vision there, but using this cool vision simulator again, we can see that in fact there is no vision there at nighttime, guaranteeing an easy hook. They decide to keep on fighting. He lands a pretty good hook on Io by waiting the path he's going to get very narrow. But that's not what I want to focus. When Void shows up, he doesn't even turn Rot. He doesn't want to have anything to do with Void. The biggest strength of Pudge is not taking that Void head on and maybe try to use Dismember and mid-hook. He's probably going to time walk away. His biggest strength is taking people out of the chronosphere and disengaging afterwards. By disengaging instantly, Void feels like that is an easy kill for him, but he is there well positioned and there are no casualties for the Radiant team. Not only that, he earns Underlord and dismembers Void now, and with all of his allies around, there's no way that Void can time walk away and they secure even more kills. This fight doesn't fit any specific criteria of the video, so I'm mainly going to talk about it. ANA wraps around the engagement, and thanks to the way Pit of Malice works, he knows exactly where TA is. The thing though is that Pudge doesn't commit on her. One big mistake some players do in the mid game is trying to focus the hero Io is healing, especially when the farm difference is small or big towards the enemy team. In this case, TA isn't even that farm, but it's always a good idea to focus Io first. In this particular fight, ANA wasn't very wary of staying outside of the chronosphere, but since Underlord was, he uses Greaves and all of this is not what I wanted to focus in this particular clip though. Pay attention on what ANA does as soon as they disengage. He immediately TPs to the tier 1 and goes to the high ground shrine area. Underlord's ult gives that feeling of safety to the enemy team for a few seconds. They feel like everyone is far away and healing, and ANA is trying to abuse that. That combined with the creep wave being so pushed allows him to easily go there unnoticed, at least this is what he thinks. There are tons of amazing decisions here. The first one is actually throwing the hook in another choke point. It gives pretty much no chance for TA to dodge it without blinking, but that's not the reason why he throws the hook there. If you pay attention to TA, you're going to see that she's out of refraction charges. Usually, the easiest and safest play would be waiting for TA to go up the ramp and then use Rot, Earn, Dismember, and finish it off with a hook. But if TA has refraction and fast reflexes, she can blink away when she actually sees the Rot status. In this case, not only he is guaranteeing a lot of pure damage on her since she's out of refractions, but there's no way TA is getting out via Blink Dagger now. Since he burned all the refraction charges, he easily finishes it off with Dismember. Amazing kill and decision making. This is the type of play that goes completely unnoticed by the untrained eye, yet we see how time and time again pro players go for stuff like this. We saw some similar plays in Ana's game. As Miracle approaches that engagement, he had some opportunities to hook Mirana or Meepo, but he only goes for the hook when both of the enemies enter the tree area. The combined effect of them wanting to kill Necro, and more importantly, the fact that they have no vision of Miracle when they go in that place, increases the chances that the hook will land tenfold. He easily takes Mirana down. Necro kinda misplayed because Miracle used Earn on him, so if he didn't turn back, maybe he would survive, but that's an easy kill for Miracle anyways. In this clip, Miracle spots a lot of skirmishes in their jungle. When Lone Druid is chasing Lina, pay attention how he doesn't try to only save Lina or to hook from a poor angle. He walks in the direction that Lone Druid's going to walk as he chases Lina, and he gets an easy hook. He even misuses TP, but the most important play here is using Earn on Lion while he changes direction so that Lion can disengage while Miracle blocks Wraith King's path. With Dismember being spent after reincarnation, they can easily take him down, as well as Meepo that joins the fight a little bit too late. In this particular clip, we see Miracle using Wraith King's hasty positioning as well as nighttime in his favor. He wants to use that ward they have as an advantage to hit a hook, but pay attention how he waits until that creep dies to the tower before positioning closer to Wraith King. Usually, you don't want to commit Dismember right away, but since they know reincarnation was spent a few seconds back and he is not high level to have the ult again, they can easily get the kill. But unfortunately, he gets stunned while Dismember was being committed. Very unfortunate turns of events, but pay attention how he starts to avoid tanking Wraith King attacks. Against most heroes, Pudge can outlast their HP until the 10-minute mark. At the 15-minute mark, this is not true, and with so little armor, he starts disengaging, and even though Wraith King is very farmed, he ends up dying thanks to the displacement abilities of Pudge. This particular part of the video doesn't really fit the theme of what I was striving, but it showcases the different approach you need to have as a Pudge. As I said in my Zai Pudge video, your playstyle post 10 minutes into the game is usually more laid back because you can't keep that amount of aggressiveness during the entire game due to how Pudge works. So Miracle basically gets a bounty rune when he respawns and farms the jungle camps with his Tranquil Boots. It's very hard to aggressively gank as Pudge at daytime in the mid game unless you're smoked, so he works with what he has. Even at 5k games, it's pretty rare to see Pudges farming jungle camps, and when you see them, they usually commit Dismember for it. Sometimes this is okay, since the cooldown was indeed buffed, but in this particular fight it actually matters that he didn't commit it. In daytime, it's way easier to get hooks when the enemy team is being aggressively. They usually won't have vision of you, and in this case, look where Miracle positions himself, right behind that tree. LD wants to finish Lina off and he feels confident being invisible, but Miracle hooks him from behind that tree, a blind spot for the Radiant team. As I said in the last fight, committing Dismember early on Wraith King is not ideal, but he was trying to save Lina. Unfortunately, she ends up dying to the Earn ticks. Even then, what I really like about this fight is how he positions himself after the Dismember. Instead of staying around and trying to slow Wraith King down so that he doesn't run away, he actually disengages. Remember what happened in the last fight. That ends up luring Wraith King towards him, and Miracle keeps messing with his positioning. This is not the only time in this replay that you're going to see Miracle completely forcing the enemies outside of the area they wanted to engage in the first place. I'm a big fan of how Miracle keeps abusing his high HP region and daytime to keep farming as Pudge instead of going for high risk, low reward plays when he's so farmed. At the same time he gets that bounty room, he notices Necro is being attacked, and pay attention to Miracle's positioning. Instead of trying to hook Lone Druid, which is very risky since they are close to Radiant's base and he only has one Necro with him and he has no ult, he actually walks following Necro's path to maybe save him if he gets rooted. In the end, Ghost Shroud and Blink saves the day. The fight keeps evolving though. With that ward lying on places, he can actually hide behind one tree where Radiant probably has no vision to hook Lich, but ends up fighting a bear. The fight keeps progressing and we see another great hook. Look at that narrow place and the amount of units there. It's very unlikely that if he throws hook in the middle of all all those heroes, he won't get anyone. He finds the most valuable kill and keeps moving away from them. And this is very important, to always be moving when you don't have your hook ready. I feel that if he TP'd right away, Mirana wouldn't have arrow ready since he used on Necro a little bit before, but it happens. This is a great example on how to handle mid-game fights with Pudge. They were smoked when Wraith King shows up close to their shrine. It was a very easy hook for Miracle. What would that achieve though? Reincarnation is up, he's alone there, Lina is dead, it's just not the right time. Mirana ult gets committed and pay attention to his decision making. He rushes towards that great hook spot, probably giving just a glimpse of vision to Radiant, but since he was out of the fight completely, the enemies are way more focused in the potential kills, guaranteeing another bear hook. Yeah, the bear survives, but pay attention to Miracle again. He keeps running away until he has hook ready. As I said, it can be underwhelming to start on a reincarnate ready target, but when he was able to drag him so far away from the fight, things are different. The answer from Radiant will be late, or maybe there will be no answer. Miracle never tries to slow him with Rot, he just keeps moving. In the end, he had the chance of initiating a fight on his shrine, but look where they are now. A way favorable place to fight, and in my opinion this is the greatest strength of Pudge. Such a low cooldown displacement skill. He keeps using earned charges and Meeple tries to burn his Aegis there. But since they are fighting in such an unfavorable spot, Lina, that was dead, and Lion already show up. Easy Wraith King kill followed by a Meeple kill. This particular play doesn't really add much to the video, but if you're still watching, you can't do that anymore. Invulnerable units cannot be hooked. By the way guys, I just want to let everyone know, I was going to stream myself playing Meeple for 24 hours and I'm actually quite sick right now. I had no sleep today and I feel like I won't be able to stay up for extra 24 hours. So I'm going to reschedule that stream. Get ready for some Meeple action, just not today. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the extended version of this video, please check the link in the description. Pug.ANA is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fogged, Monib, and get better at the game. They have now great content on the new patch, and if you want to increase your MMR, this is a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins. Let's follow this Miracle Meeple game to talk about specific plays now. I couldn't find one game where Miracle starts without Iron Talon in the mid lane. He usually goes for Stealth Shield in professional games, but not in ranked games. In this game, he's against a TA. While Miracle has some kill potential after level 3, the first levels can be quite annoying. Iron Talon really helps Meeple to guarantee the range creeps. Range creeps means experience, and Meeple loves to get to good level progression. He ends up misplaying here, but you can see that he had a clear plan. Iron Talon, right click,